How's it going, everybody? Back out here in the garage today, and yes, right off the bat it is hotter than Hades in here. So I got my blower going, so if you hear some background noise, that's going on. Got the engine back up on the hoist, got the manifolds off, but I got some broken studs I've got to get out of the heads. So on this side, I've got two here. Hopefully all I got to do is heat them up, take them off the vice grips. This one, I'm going to try to do the vice grips, but most likely I'm going to end up having to weld a nut to it. And let's see. And we got two there that need to come off. So that's what I'm going to be working on. I got Ethan out here helping me today. We've got Barney pulled in driveway, got a canopy up. And he's going to start draining all the fluids in it, start disassembling while I'm working on this, and once I get done getting the bolts out of the head, I'm going to go over here and help him. And yeah, it's going to be a hot one. And of course all the parts are adding up that we're not going to be reusing. So let's get started. All right, let's set some heat on this, see if we can get it loosened up. Alright, got those two out with no problems. That takes care of the driver's side. Passenger side, I got one out. Got that one out with no problem. This one broke inside the head, so I'm gonna have to drill and put an easy out hopefully in it and heat it up at the same time. This one had just enough on it to get a nut back on it, so I'm getting ready to weld that and try to get that backed out. All right, got the last one out. So all of them are out now. So I tried to use an easy out on this back one, ended up breaking the easy out in it, but it gave me enough to put a nut on and weld on it. So I was able to get it out that way. And so she's basically stripped down, ready for the parts to come off the other engine to put on here. And also too, guys, when you're doing the exhaust manifold bolts and you get a situation like this, just go ahead and replace them all new. So these are from Dorman. They're the replacement exhaust bolts. So you got everything you need as far as getting the heat shields back on. See down in there, you can see the nuts for that. And our local AutoZone had one box, but it takes one per side. So we had to order the other ones, and it's actually here now, which is surprising. So I need to run over there and go grab those. And also the exhaust bolts going from the manifold to your pipe, because most times those break, or they've had so many heat cycles on them. And you can pick those up as well. Comes with the new back pieces that go on it, and just saves the headache of trying to use the old ones and they snap on you. And let's see where Ethan has gotten. So he started tearing some stuff off the top, and right now he's working on the underneath. So he's got the exhaust undone. Got some sensors undone, starter undone. Just getting ready to do bell housing bolts, flywheel bolts. Now he's got him some baggies to put everything in. And of course, we would be doing this at the hottest time of the year. All right now I'm discharging the AC system. Ethan's underneath there undoing torque converter bolts. And I'm kind of discharging this prudently. So what I end up using is antifreeze container with about half water in it. Stick the nozzle down there so that way everything just stays in the water. Cap it off and dispose of it. So, yeah, just carry it on. Next day out in the garage, we got the old engine taken out of Barney and started taking parts off to transfer over to this one. And we went ahead and put a new water pump on it, get that out of the way. And right now we're waiting on parts. So when we took the engine out, passenger side motor mount is gone. And then the driver's side looks like it's getting ready to cut loose. So we went ahead and ordered 2 of those. Hopefully they'll be here sometime tomorrow. And as of right now, we're on a holding pattern. So we'll see you tomorrow. This is officially the next day. Still a little hot outside. Ethan was busy at work today. We were waiting on parts. We didn't get those all wrangled up till about 2 o'clock this afternoon. So now we're out here, heat of the day, and got the new engine mounts sitting off to the side. And because trying to jack this thing up with the mounts attached, that gets in the way. And we got our exhaust gaskets. So now we got the driver's side on, ready to go. We got the new exhaust nuts on. Those are ready to go. And guys, it's just, they're not that expensive. Because 9 times out of 10, when you take them out, they break. And, or they strip out on you. They won't hold in place. And especially in these trucks and stuff, there's not a whole lot of room to try to get a pair of pliers in or short wrench. You can do it, but there's a lot of skip knuckles. So just, I mean, hell, those things aren't worth what, $7, $8? You know, that's the old ones that came out.
The little C-clip, or I guess
the retainer.
Yeah, that little bin just disintegrates and then you're fucked.
Yes, folks, he dropped the F-bomb.
Oh.
Good thing this thing's scheduled for adults only. So anyway, I think we've got everything prepped, ready to go. So we're going to try to stab this thing in. Hopefully it goes in easy, but with these trucks and stuff, with part of the engine going up underneath the firewall a little bit, and without taking the bumper off, it's like right at its limits. So I'm going to have to do a little pushing, a little screaming, a little cussing. Ethan's going to be underneath. trying to get things lined up. So between adjusting the transmission and the engine to try to get everything good, hopefully we get it in. So let's get started. All right, Ethan's getting 2 bolts started. Once we get that in place, I can readjust some things on the engine hoist so we can get the motor mounts attached. But definitely fun getting them in there. Like I said, because it goes up underneath firewall cavity area. And I actually need about another 2 inches forwards on my engine hoist. We got her in, it's lined up, and now the fun begins. Let's get it all back together. All right, guys, how's it going? Next day, back out here in the garage. Was wanting to get an earlier start, but that didn't happen. So here we go. It's already getting hot outside. So the engine is now in place. Mounts are in. There's the new engine mounts. Everything's bolted up to the transmission. So now I'm going to get started getting the valve covers put on, get the coil packs put on, get the intake put on. But first, I need to clean all this up because I'm going to use the valve covers and coil packs that came off of this engine to put on there because everything worked. And so we're going to do that. Get the intake back on, get some new gaskets on it, and start putting this thing back together. So let's get started on it, and hopefully I can get a lot of this done today. And then when Ethan gets home this evening, he's going to finish up everything underneath as far as getting the starter in, the exhaust bolted up, and hopefully we get this thing to fire up. Fingers crossed. It looks like we're getting a little bit over the halfway point now. Just about got everything buttoned up on the front of the engine. Still got to get the heater hoses clamped in, get the bottom part of the radiator hose installed, get the belt on, get the fan on, then the radiator, condenser, coolers. Yep, a little at a time. We just got it all back together. Got all the fluids in her, burped the radiator. She sounds pretty healthy. So you can go in there and turn the key on it. Sounds good. No tapping, no ticking. No smoking. So, only thing left is to take a test drive. I need to take it to a facility in the morning. Have the AC recharged on it because I don't have a vacuum pump. But we got her done. Between Ethan working long days, coming in and doing all the underneath work. At least we didn't have to jack the truck up. So at the moment, I call it a win. So guys, we're going to call it a night. Y'all have a safe one, a good one, and we'll see you down the road.